Minecraft has been around for over 10 years now, and until recently, I really didn't think too much of it. It's relaxing to play, and there isn't all that much as far as progression, in the traditional sense, as you would think. Run around, mine blocks, build houses, fight monsters, and eventually reach the Ender Dragon. Yes, it technically does have an endgame, one I myself have never been bothered to reach. Minecraft has endless possibilities, with the world being so big it would take you literal days to reach the world border. Now, I don't need to explain to you what Minecraft is. Most everyone has played it, and if you haven't, please fucking do. It's absolutely worth it. As much as you would expect this to be a children's game, it's far from it. Sure, it's easy enough to play that children can, but it's also complex enough that adults can enjoy the hell out of it too. Some of the artistic abilities of people are astonishing, especially in a world made of just blocks. I'm talking sprawling castles, massive monuments, fuck, someone even recreated Hogwarts in its entirety. As I said, and will continue to say, Minecraft's possibilities are endless. Now, a lot of this is done in single player, with multiplayer servers offering up much of the same. There is so much to do and explore that the game really doesn't ever end. The survival genre as we know it is largely thanks to Minecraft. But this video is about to take a darker turn, and a little more political, so bear with me here. I will start by saying that Minecraft is available in almost every country around the world. It isn't like Modern Warfare, depicting real countries at war, which can often get your game banned in a lot of countries. It is honest to God, unbiased. It's a fantasy world. Minecraft also has servers available in almost every country around the world, which makes countries like China, for instance, that like to keep some of their internet censored from their citizens, able to connect to servers in North America, Europe, and of course, China itself. Now, freedom of the press is something that most of us take for granted. In North America, the UK, and Europe, we have the ability to write stories on politicians that make them look bad, or are based strictly on speculation, without the worry of being killed or going to jail. That goes for the state of the country, freedom of speech, and the list goes on. For most people, they may only lose their job at the worst of it. But there is a Minecraft server out there that contains articles from reporters and journalists that have either met an unfortunate end or jailed because their stories seem not fit for their country even though they spoke the truth. They call this place the Uncensored Library. It houses all censored articles from all over the world and is accessible by anyone with Minecraft and an internet connection. This place may house content that is dark, but the library itself is gorgeous. It took 24 builders from 16 countries over 250 hours and 12.5 million blocks to create. It was put together by a group of people known as Reporters Without Borders. It's a loophole for people to access information deemed unfit. If that isn't adult enough for you, I don't know what is. It took a fucking video game to have these people's voices and thoughts heard. The moment you enter onto the server, you start to notice the work that was put in. After ascending the steps and going through a tunnel leading to the front entrance of the library, you will notice a monument built, a fist, clenching a fountain pen. My first thought went to the quote, "The pen is mightier than the sword," a fitting testament to this wonderful library. As you wander through the ponds and gardens on your way to the front entrance, it dawns on you how massive this building really is. 12.5 million blocks sounds like a lot, but it looks like a hell of a lot more. Upon entering the library, you are greeted by a book that introduces you and lets you know what the Uncensored Library is all about. It reads as follows. In many countries, the internet is controlled by oppressive regimes. The media is censored and websites are blocked, but Minecraft is still accessible. We are using this loophole to bypass internet censorship and make independent information available again. Journalists from different countries, despite having been banned, jailed, exiled, and even killed, now have their place to make their voices heard again. Their forbidden articles are republished within books inside this library to inform players around the world about the real political situation in their countries. Let us stand up for our right to information and let the world know that the truth can never be silenced. These powerful words will not be the only powerful thing within this library. Reading the few articles I did really puts you into a sense of mind that not everywhere is a great place to live. The Great Hall of this library houses every country on multiple floors with their flags hanging underneath where their book is located. Reporters Without Borders ranked each country in the world based upon their freedom of press. As much as I would like to brag about Canada, we are ranked 18th, with the United States of America ranked 48th. Each book gives a detail as to why the country is ranked as so. In the center of this room rests another book, with each country ranked from 1 to 180. Norway sits as the #1 spot, while Turkmenistan takes the last place. Down the steps from the introduction book, you will find pressure plates that are normally used in-game to open doors or set off traps. These plates here act as teleporters, bringing you to the room of your choice. Now, a few countries are in the spotlight as being some of the worst countries for freedom of press. Russia, Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Egypt are the countries with dedicated halls. Visiting each hall will grant you access to these articles, giving you information on the individual reporters and what may have become of them. Every hall you enter houses the information in both English and the native tongue of said country. Saudi Arabia even has a disc player that plays Arabic so that players may listen. Each one also houses its own masterpiece as a statement for each country. Russia, having a kraken coming out of the water, with the book sitting in the middle on glass. Vietnam houses a maze, which atop rests a structure of Vietnamese architecture that contains the books inside of it. Egypt has a large scale in the middle of the room, which has books surrounding the bottom of the sculpture. Saudi Arabia's hall dons a large cage with books of articles placed in the center. And finally, Mexico, a room which hit me the hardest. In this hall, there are cenotaphs that house pictures of 12 reporters that had been killed. Their names and what they had done before their deaths surround the articles. These halls bring to light what isn't so great about these countries. It gives us a somber reminder that where most of us live, we get to hear much of the truth. Throwing out phrases like fake news and publishing celebrity and fluff pieces are a luxury that apparently a lot of countries can't afford. A lot of you may be wondering where they get their information from or whether or not it's credible. The introduction book also contains this statement. The books in the main dome contain the RSF, Press Freedom Index, and all information is independently researched by Reporters Without Borders. They also keep in contact with reporters from countries with censored press to gather information and legitimacy. They are continuing to add more books from other countries and update the server frequently. Talking about this library can only do it so much justice. I recommend that you visit it yourself and have a read of what's going on in other countries. The fact that Minecraft is the hub for world information for countries that are censored is incredible. Unfortunately, Minecraft can only house 100 pages per book, so a limitation is present when it comes to writing these books. This is amazing work done by both the architecture and the information collected. If any server should be visited, it's this one. I'm going to end this video on a quote from another book, located at the Reporters Without Borders hall located in the library, as I believe it sums it up better than I could ever put into words. If journalists were not free to report the facts, denounce abuses, and alert the public, how would we resist the problem of child soldiers, defend women's rights, preserve our environment, or fight against political mismanagement? In some countries, torturers stop as soon as they are mentioned in the media. Corrupt politicians have to step back when their activities are revealed, and massacres are prevented when the international media focus their attention and cameras on events. Giving people access to the truth has an impact on all aspects in their lives and societies they live in. Freedom of the press is one of the most valuable possessions humanity can hold, the very foundation of physical and mental freedom, and we need to defend it every day without compromise.